Hey, how come FPV videos suck now? For years now, the meta in FPV has been vlogging, and I'm really not sure why. Maybe it's because in the early days, the early YouTubers like Umagod and Wild Willie made those types of videos, and we all kind of just followed suit. Maybe it's because that's the best format to share your FPV adventures with. Maybe it's because we all bought fancy cameras and needed an excuse to use them. Whatever reason, vlogging in a bando has been a staple of FPV since it started. And in 8 years, I have literally watched thousands of FPV videos between my own personal consumption and doing a weekly Friday night live stream. Who's texting me? But something I'm noticing now is FPV videos don't really have the same charm that they used to. Not all of them, mind you, there's still some people making fantastic content out there, but as a whole, I feel like the current generation of new pilots isn't really putting out the same content that the previous ones had. But maybe that's just me. I remember 5 years ago, Mr. Steele's God Mode Activated video blew everybody's mind. It was an incredible display of what an FPV drone could do in the hands of a skilled pilot. And that video rightfully gained over 3 million views and continues to be a masterclass in freestyle to this day. But not every video had to be mind-blowing to gain attention back then. Look at Gapit's Betaflight 3.2 video. Betaflight 3.2 had just dropped, and Gapit, who was known to have some of the tightest flow in 2016, gained 3.5 million views on this video. It wasn't at a crazy bando, it wasn't anything gnarly, it was just some solid, smooth, flowy FPV, and it blew up. But during this time periods, the Gapits and Mr. Steels at FPV were super rare. Not everyone was flying to this capacity, and if they were, YouTube certainly wasn't picking it up. We also had the original Rotor Riot back then, which, if you didn't know, was a pretty fun weekly channel. It was less focused on selling you backstock of 4-year-old Walksnail box goggles back then, and more focused on quality content. It was pretty fun. But these days, if you search for FPV freestyle on YouTube, not only will you be presented with familiar names like Captain Vanover and Phoenix FPV, but you'll be suggested shorts and flight videos that would demolish anything posted in 2016. And now they're from some kid in Iowa using box goggles. Not only has the tech gotten better, but the pilots right out of the gate these days are incredible. It's sort of like skateboarding pre-Rodney Mullen. No one knew you could kickflip, so no one was trying to do one. But in 2024, if you're trying to learn how to skate, the kickflip is one of the first tricks you learn. It went from something that only a few select pros could do to something that's standard. I guess the FPV equivalent would be like a trippy spin or a juicy flip or something like that. So something that used to be rare, like crazy bando rippers or super flowy flight videos, are kind of now just commonplace. If some of y'all were doing the stuff that you do now in 2016, you would have been one of the best pilots in the world. And like I said, I've watched a billion FPV videos, so it gets hard for me to get excited about one when YouTube recommends it. These days, I'm more into watching like Captain Kazi vlogs going some cool adventure, or FPV Vegan whooping the F train at rush hour, or even Grim Ripper upsetting half of his audience with the truth. I enjoy more outside the FPV box content than just straight flying real good. I've seen that a lot. What I've not seen a lot of, though, are pilots at the level of people like Plume, Ox Plumes. I may be bored of freestyle videos, but when this French motherfucker drops a video, I sit down and watch it. He's just so damn skilled, inspiring for real. If you've never seen Plume fly, turn this video off and go watch his. But pilots like him don't come along super often, and they don't post a lot. Murders FPV is another freestyle pilot that I could watch all day, and he posts a little more frequently, but the thing with both of these people is they're not typical. Their styles are so unique and entertaining. Even in a sea of incredibly talented pilots, they stand out. You can't help but rewind the video 30 times trying to figure out how they did that trick. There are some damn fine freestyle pilots out there, but folks like the last two I just mentioned take it to another level, and that's really what it comes down to for me. Personally, I've been watching drones fly for 8 years straight. I'm sort of numb to it. I need somebody trippy spinning a 3-foot marble statue of a gargoyle's dick 137 stories up for me to feel anything. Another reason I watch less videos now is FPV is my job. It's been my job for about 5 years now, and when I used to cook for a paycheck, I'd read the chef magazines, I'd watch tutorials on how to make my ceviche stand out or whatever. But after a year at that same restaurant, I wanted to leave work at work when I clocked out. Now, doing YouTube and FPV is a little bit different since I love flying drones and I really do enjoy making videos. But when I get finished flying or editing a video and I have free time, my first thought isn't, oh, I want to smoke a bowl and watch some drone videos. No, if I'm chilling, I'm scrolling through YouTube, I'm looking for crawler content or bike packing gear or something like that, since currently those are my hobbies. I do fly 5-inch and whoops for fun without making content, but those days are rare and usually reserved for just like goofing off down the street at a construction site, or if somebody comes from out of town and I want to host them or something. And I know a lot of you are just getting into FPV, so you're soaking up all the content that you can, and I'm sure you cannot get enough of it because it's all exciting and new. One thing that I used to do when I made videos was I would try to remember how excited I would be when someone like Stinger Swarm posted a new video. I was a whore for FPV content when I started. I couldn't get enough, and Stingy posted pretty regularly, so I was always stoked when I saw he posted a new video. I tried to carry that feeling as long as I could when I made my videos because I figured there was at least a few of you out there that kind of felt the same way about my videos as I did about Stingy's, you know? And I wanted you to be pumped when I made a new one. I wanted you to be excited about, you know, whatever video I came up with. Fast forward to I have almost 900 videos later and I have no idea what I'm doing content-wise. I try to plan a little bit, but I'm pretty much a first draft sort of guy. So whatever idea I have first is what I go with. Even these little essay videos that I do, every script is a first draft. I just vomit my fingers onto the keyboard, stuff comes out, and I record it. I just don't want to get stale, I don't want to be predictable, and I don't want people to get bored with my content. That's why I keep trying new things, like the crawler video all of you hated so much. Speaking of that video was fucking sick. Fuck you for not liking the crawler video. I'm making another one, but this time I got head tracking. And don't get me wrong, I know there are tons of good pilots out there to watch, be it straight up freestyle videos or funny vlogs in abandoned factories. Just to me, someone who's been doing this for like 8 years, I feel like I remember a time when there was a little bit more creativity in videos. It wasn't always so saturated with affiliate links and advertiser-friendly content. People made videos because of a genuine passion rather than a way to make ad revenue. Maybe I'm just jaded and it's hard to see FPV with fresh eyes, but I am curious, for those of you that have been flying for a while, does it seem like FPV YouTube is different now? It seems like we have a lot more reviewers and product salespeople rather than actual artists and content creators. I mean, I remember a time when you couldn't search FPV without being assaulted with 50 vlogs from the same event. And I don't really think FPV is getting any smaller. I see more new folks asking questions about FPV on the internet than I ever have before. This hobby is only getting bigger, and the FPV YouTube meta is sort of in a strange place. And I'm all for change. Maybe FPV vlogging is falling out of fashion. Maybe it's only for Gen X boomers now, and I'm fine with that. I just hope it gets replaced with something artistic and not an ad-safe, watered-down version of what we used to have. Like I said, I used to love watching FPV videos and vlogs and flight videos even. But if I see one more 5-minute uncut video set to B-roll Coffee by Daniel Schiffer or one more vlog in a empty field, I'm going to delete my YouTube, start over again as a motivational speaker for adults with ADHD that smoke too much weed. And look, here's the thing. Here's the deal! If you're uploading a 5-minute uncut flight video while vlogging an empty field and you're having fun, fuck yeah, keep doing that shit. I do it too. There's absolutely nothing wrong with uploading flights to YouTube even if you aren't the strongest pilot. It's all for fun, right? I mean, look at my channel. I have never deleted an old video because I thought the flying was bad or something. I'm proud of how far I've come and I like to look back on it. And we're talking about people that are actively trying to make money on this platform or grow a channel and complain about low view count. Most of the time when I see something like this, I'll notice the person uploading uploads pretty infrequently, they don't do much editing, it generally doesn't have anything special to offer the viewer. Like, there are hundreds of you at any given time uploading a flight video or a bando vlog. What about your channel would make somebody else choose you over the others? A lot of them are just the same thing to your general YouTube viewer. And I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm anything special, I've just been doing this a long ass time, I've stuck with it when other people have quit, so my name got out there. I've also made weekly content for years now, so people interested in FPV are bound to run across at least one of my videos. I'm not really going to talk much about the current state of reviewers in this video since I basically made an entire other video about it, the our influencers ruining FPV video. Except to say it used to be a little bit different. There wasn't so much money to be made from affiliate links, so when I started, I feel like you could trust channels that did reviews a little bit more. I mean, you still can, but there wasn't so much of a, this is the best bind and fly of September, or, well, this shitty digital goggle might be right for some people, type of generic speech. You got a little bit more of the person's real thoughts rather than pushing a sale. But let's definitely talk about the tech channels, the how-tos. Do you need to know how to bind your ELRS with a safety pin while underwater? Well, Bardwell's probably has a video about that. But now, so do people like Mads Tech, and he will also take that ELRS receiver down to the molecular level underneath a high-powered microscope to monitor for quantum fluctuations that might be giving you just the slightest bit of interference. We're fucking on top of it now, dog. We are blessed by our Dark Lord to have so many wicked smart people in this community that not only understand how this stuff works, but also have the ability to break it down for those of us that who are not so wicked smart. It was rough getting help on YouTube for specific problems back in the day, but now there's so many helpful channels that it can at least get you started in the right direction. We had Slack chats and other forums, but in 2017, there wasn't a whole lot of people taking the time to upload a video on YouTube detailing like PID tuning techniques. For proof of this, look how well Stingy's video did on PIDs 7 years ago, almost 200,000 views, and a lot of those were in that time period when his channel had maybe 30,000 subscribers. So one thing that is positive about FPV YouTube in 2024, it's a lot easier to get help, it's a lot easier to get started, troubleshooting. So many people in the past decade have had a similar problem as you, and a lot of the times, somebody made a video about it. I seem to recall Bardwell in particular once saying that that's how he kind of got his start, was making videos for people. People would always ask him for help, and so he just started making videos to point people to instead of repeating himself, which is a pretty funny origin story if I'm remembering correctly, but also a pretty cool thing to do since that will be forever searchable and help a ton of people. The inverse is sort of like somebody asking for help on Reddit and then just commenting, "Thanks guys, I fixed it," and not leaving any explanation at all of how they fixed the problem for the next person who has this issue. If you come across an issue in FPV that people are struggling with and you find a fix, make a video about it. Shit, even if it only gets 30 views, at least you help that busser in upstate New York get their radio working for Sims or whatever, you know? Interestingly, if you look at Google search trends over the last 5 years, no one is searching for FPV freestyle drones, really. You see a bump in searches for FPV drones around the time of the Russia war, and again when DJI releases new Avata drones, but not a lot for good old-fashioned FPV freestyle. I do blame FPV for the current corporate state of FPV and the media, the YouTube channels. You know, people that would normally be building an FPV drone and interacting with the community to get help are now just buying Avatas and flying over the freeway while telling the community to fuck off. Not everyone should be able to open a box and fly a drone. A lot of people are fucking stupid, and drones can be dangerous. So that's why I don't watch a lot of FPV videos these days. I feel like it's all just kind of the same thing, except for a few standouts. It takes a really skilled outside of the box pilot for me to want to watch flight videos. And as far as blogs, bro, hold your camera up like this. Don't hold it down to your chin. You look like an asshole, and stop worrying about monetization. You're gonna make 30 fucking cents in ad revenue. Just use good music so people will at least enjoy that part of your videos. And I swear to Satan, use a good microphone, please. Use a fucking good. All right, I think that's gonna do it for me. Appreciate you watching today's video. I wanted to kind of comment on the state of FPV these days. I really do feel like it used to be a little more exciting. Like every month there was some new pilot that came out of nowhere and started making rad videos and like shook up the scene. You know, I feel like the last time I saw that was probably Slat. Do you want to be the new Slat? Definitely leave a comment below and let me know if you notice this too, or if I'm just so out of touch with the community that I'm missing out on good content. All right, everybody, thank you very much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. If you want to see an example of what kind of a video not to make, you can watch this one right here where I went and I flew in an abandoned building. But if you enjoy these videos and you want to see me keep making them, you can slide a couple bucks my way and I'll keep cranking them out. So at least you have something to watch, right? All right, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for watching my video. Bye.